I think one of us should do Good Morning Fam. It's a great.
So you don't want me to say anything?
No, I'm saying
Go ahead.
you can totally say it if you
Go
want,
ahead.
but I will as well.
Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Good morning, fam. It's a great day. Welcome to Jorgan Fam Weekly. I am Jon.
Oh, am I allowed to speak?
Oh, stop it.
I'm Erin.
We're not that
Sweet
conservative.
Bear. We're not in the Handmaid's Tale.
Oh boy. My name is Jon.
My name is Erin / Sweet Bear.
And Buckets is over there, and we make up the three parts of the Jorgan Fam. Welcome to episode...
Soon to be 4. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. No. Stop that. Now you're gonna...
Okay.
Fast forward 24 hours, and you're gonna be complaining that everyone in the comments is gonna be like, when are you getting pregnant? That's gonna be you
That was
24
a
hours
total
from
joke.
now.
Total joke.
Welcome to episode 7.
Whoa.
Episode 7, lucky number 7.
A biblical number.
A biblical number, the number of completion.
So are we done?
No. No, I don't think so. But it's exciting to be here on another Friday. As always, let's start by talking about what the heck we did last week. Sweet Bear, last week, went on a 7-mile run. It's Sunday morning. Pretty early, not too early. But it's exciting because today, guess who's going on a 7-mile run? Me. And this Sweet Bear. Sweet Bear, you ready?
No.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna do great.
It's the worst thing ever.
For those of you who aren't keeping up with this show, first of all, what's wrong with you? Secondly, Sweet Bear and I, we were training for her first half marathon. And so last week, we ran 7 miles on Sunday morning before church. It was the longest she'd ever run in her life. How'd it go?
It was a little rough.
It was a little rough. You can watch the vlog that sort of documents most of it, but it does not show when we got to mile about 6.5. And Sweet Bear hit what we call in the running world, she bonked, which means you hit a point where it's just like you can't run anymore. It's just like your body just starts to shut down and you're like done. And that's happened to me many times when running. It happens to everybody.
This is so unfair.
What? All I'm saying is you had a really, really, really rough time getting through that last mile.
Yes.
But
for many reasons.
The amazing thing is you pushed through it and you didn't quit. And you were like, forget it. Screw it. Let's go. Let's push through to the end.
At that point, I had like not even a half mile, a quarter of a mile left.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to walk the quarter of the mile.
No.
Like, just suck it up, Erin, and do it.
I was incredibly proud of you is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
I was incredibly proud of you. I couldn't believe it. And you're going to crush this half marathon coming up. Make sure to go and watch the vlog because it was a lot of fun to make. And you all keep saying you want more vlogs, so there's a little vlog for you. Also, last week, for those of you who are following my Instagram stories and whatnot, you know that I went down to Champaign, Illinois, to perform with Art in Motion Dance Company. It was a great time. Thank you to Trisha and everybody down there, all the dancers. Thank you, Skyly, everybody.
I'm so jealous.
I know. Sweet Bear was sad she couldn't be there. And everyone down there was sad she couldn't be there. The amount of times I had to answer the question, where is your wife or is your wife coming, was a bit discouraging because as soon as people saw me, they went like, Jon, it's great to see you. It was like, where's your wife? And she wasn't there. But there are a couple friends down there that wanted to give a quick shout out for all of you. So enjoy this.
I will be in it. I will be in it.
Okay.
I will be in it.
Should we just like introduce ourselves?
Okay, we're already in it. Hey
Is it
everybody.
going?
Yeah, it is. It's totally going. This is Kate. This is Grace.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
They're from Art in Motion. She lives in Champaign. She lives some other place.
Bloomington.
Who knows where that is? Thank you so much.
Come say hi.
Trisha, say hi. This is Trisha.
Hello.
And Thomas is back there. He just ran away. Don't run away. Don't run away from your calling, Thomas. Okay, so do y'all have any shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to say?
Shout outs to give to Buckets the dog because we love him.
Shout out to Jon Jorgenson for coming and doing our spoken word.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for
Did you
dancing.
enjoy our dances?
Y'all killed it.
Oh, thanks.
Y'all killed it.
Thank you. Any final words?
Any
Any final words? We think it's something.
There he is.
Turn out.
Also last week, a lot of stuff happened in this last week. We also last weekend watched the Tonys.
The Tony. Tony.
Sleeper, how were the Tonys?
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought Kevin Spacey was awesome.
Yes, me too. I feel very morning talk
I know.
show with this
I'm like, where's mine?
welcome to Jorgan Fam. And we're gonna get like it written across. I don't know. Kevin Spacey was awesome.
Was so good. And there was like drama. Like they couldn't find a host.
Right.
And he was like sort of not a last minute choice, but pretty
But they
last
made a
minute.
really good decision, and he made a really good decision with commenting on the fact that he was,
That was funny.
sort of the last choice. And then doing really, really well on top of that was awesome. I will say this, though. As much as I loved Kevin Spacey, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda missed his moment
Well, he
a little
couldn't.
bit.
They asked him. I told you this.
He couldn't because he was...
Filming Mary Poppins.
But he was there
Yeah, but he literally got back from London like that week. I
that
think.
week. Yeah.
So he was too busy. He'll
Yeah,
probably do
which-
next year.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, this past calendar year has been such a huge year for him as far as moving from just a celebrity in the Broadway world to being a celebrity at large. And that's what you need in order to host the Tonys. And who knows, maybe his career is going to continue to explode and,
Well, yeah.
you know, through doing Mary
But
Poppins
what
and
do
other
you think
movies.
is better for his career? Hosting the Tonys for a community that already knows
Yeah.
him or being a Mary Poppins?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think, like, if anyone was supposed to host this year,
It was him.
It was him, you know, because he really has transcended that world and really built a bridge. And so I think, not that he'll never get another chance to host, and not that he's not going to be famous enough to host ever again, but I think this would have been a really special year for him to do it. That's what I'm sort of thinking. Anyway,
it was a
what
great
was
broadcast.
It was great. What was your favorite performance?
Well, Corey, duh.
Yeah. One of my college roommates is in Bandstand, and even though they were only nominated, I think,
Choreography.
just for choreography. I mean, they won for choreography,
Yeah,
which
no,
is
I
awesome.
think a couple other
They had
things, but-
only a couple nominations, but they still got, and they weren't nominated for Best Musical, but they still got to perform because the show is all about veterans and things like that, and so they did sort of a tribute performance, and it was really fun to see Corey perform.
It was so
Definitely.
crazy.
Other than that, though.
Oh, I don't know. I wish Miss Saigon did a different bit.
Yeah, man, there's so much good stuff, and like she's amazing and great, but there's so much like spectacle and really cool stuff in that show that I wish they would have done maybe something with a little more spectacle, or just, you know.
Yeah. So Dear Evan Hansen probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben Platt, come on.
Yeah. Every other show seemed to choose like very strange numbers.
And they were just like, let's let him perform.
Yeah,
He's
like
gonna
they're
win
like,
a Tony in
he's
5
gonna
minutes.
win. Speaking of favorite speech,
His.
yeah.
He's so great. I love him.
Well, what was cool about him is it really, and watching Benj and Justin, Pasek and Paul, watching them win. The reason I think so many people were cheering for that show, not just because that show very much represents the emotional journey of so many young people in the world today, especially in the theater world, but also because I think watching their giddiness and their excitement when they win, that's exactly how you or I would act too, you know? And so it was very like theater kids, it felt like theater kids watching theater kids win awards, which is fun.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like you were watching celebrities, you know, who were just beyond it, like when Kevin Kline won. You know,
Yeah,
it
you're
was
like,
kind of
okay,
like
or Bette Midler,
yeah,
or
it was
you're
kind of
like,
like
we get
I'll
it.
never be them. But when you see Ben Platt or when you see Ben and Justin win, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm like them.
Yeah.
You know, so that was just kind of a cool moment, I think, and I'm glad that won. I'm glad that Ben Platt won. He's so good, man.
He's so good.
He's so good.
He's
But
not human.
overall, I really enjoyed the Tonys.
Great show.
Some years I really don't.
Yeah,
but-
it was a good year, I think.
Yeah.
And especially coming off the Hamilton year, it could have been.
Right, it could have been a
Pretty
really
rough,
down,
but-
boring year, but it was great. All right, so let's move on. We have a game today. You ready for a game? This is a game that I made up.
Ooh.
At least I think I made it up. Like, I made it up in my own mind, and someone else may have played it elsewhere.
Okay.
But just because someone did it before, if you think it up originally, can you say that you created it, even
No.
if someone did it before?
No.
No, I guess you can't. But they didn't patent it.
Okay.
Okay, anyway. So today's game is called All the Feels. All the feels. The way this game works, it's really more of an interview game than anything else, but it's really fun. You go through a gambit of different emotions, and you ask the person that you're playing with, you say, what makes you happy? What makes you angry? What
And do you
makes
have
you
to say
this
like the
or
first
that?
thing?
Yeah, I think so,
Okay.
but I think there's some discussion to be had
Okay.
with it, obviously. But yeah, the idea is that you say the first thing that you can think of that makes you that emotion, that gives you that feeling. Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
All right, super. Here we go. What makes you happy?
You.
Oh,
And
stop it.
Tabas.
Stop it. What makes me happy? You. But I was trying to think of a different answer. You know what I mean? Clearly, I was trying to think of a different answer. Other than my family, what makes me happy? Creating something and sharing it with other people. That makes me really happy.
Okay.
Next up, what makes you sad?
Whole 30.
Oh, how's it going, by the way?
Terribly.
Oh, no. For me, what makes me sad? Not a lot of things make me sad. Because for me, if it's something like big and broad, like world hunger, I immediately go to anger. You know, I immediately go to frustration. What makes me sad? What makes me sad is
You don't like when we have one plan and then it turns into another plan.
but that's more annoyed. That's not. I don't get sad.
Yeah, you do sometimes. I guess you don't.
I don't get sad.
I'm trying to think.
I go. I'm happy or I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I don't get sad. Because I guess for me, like, sadness, there's not really anything I can do with that.
That's so.
Whereas I can
interesting.
use happiness. I was thinking about this the other day because I was making a list of things that make me these different emotions, and I couldn't come up with anything for sad.
That's crazy.
And I think it's because I can't do anything with sadness. Like, for me personally, I'm not saying no one can, but for me, like, if I'm angry about something, that can drive me to do something about it. When I'm joyful or happy with something, that drives me to engage in it.
But I'm saying there are certain things in life that just make you sad because you can't do anything about it. Like a death, for example.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, a death of a loved one would make me sad.
But I'm trying to think on a smaller scale. What's something that, like, you can't do anything about?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's because I don't believe that there's nothing there's nothing in this world that, like, we can't do anything about. Even if it's like I think about something like somebody I know gets cancer, that's very sad. But at the same time, there is something maybe I can do about it in that I can reach out to them, you know. I don't know. I guess sadness is just,
Interesting.
it's not something that comes naturally to me. Sadness. Anyway, let's move on. What makes you, I slammed that down really hard. What makes you inspired? Can I go first?
Yeah.
So what makes me inspired every single time is watching or listening or conversing with someone who is incredibly passionate or incredibly excellent at one thing. And it doesn't matter what it is. But if that person is all in on, you know, Prince's music, and they know everything about it, and they're so passionate about it, and they think it's the greatest thing in the world, and they could talk about it for years, and they know everything, that just inspires me. Like a passionate pursuit of something, or someone who is just the best at what they do, whether it's teaching from the Bible like I do, or whether it's, you know, playing the violin. Excellence inspires me, no doubt.
I think what inspires me is, like, dreaming. Like, if I let myself, like, imagine, like, in 10 years I could be here if I start today. You know, because
Yeah.
I'm such a dreamer. I'm always like, oh, like,
Yeah.
imagine if we went on vacation here, or imagine our house, or imagine, you
And
know,
I
our
immediately
kids,
go-
or imagine.
I immediately go, well, we would have to save this much, and it would cost this.
But I
and-
like just like to think about, like, oh, imagine one day we could have people over to our home, and we would have a large home that people could stay at, and we could host dinners, and we could have a small group, and
And how does that inspire you then?
then I'm like, okay, let's do it. Like, let's get to work so I can get there.
Yeah,
I think.
that's good. I like that.
I don't know.
All right, next, what makes you angry?
Sex trafficking.
Ooh, yeah. I think for me, what makes me angry, a lot of things do. Because like I said, I think I naturally go to anger instead of sadness or regret or this or that. But I think what makes me angry is people who say they're going to do something and then don't do it. Or like untapped or unused potential. I see people in my life who they have just huge dreams, huge aspirations, and a lot of talent to back it up. And a lot of words that they say they're going to do things. And then when they don't do it, it just makes me angry.
Yeah.
Because I'm just mad for them. I'm not sad. I'm angry about it, you know? But yeah, like sex trafficking, injustice everywhere. Injustice. Really, injustice everywhere makes me angry, you know?
Christians fighting with other Christians.
Oh, that's the one. Christians fighting with other Christians. Disunity in the church, I think, especially lately for me, with being on YouTube and experiencing how Christians can just argue over the most minuscule thing, that is probably my biggest, like, hot anger point.
Yeah. Like,
I get on my soapbox all the time about it. Angry. Okay, here we go. Next, what makes you annoyed?
Ooh, lots of things.
What makes you annoyed that doesn't have to do with me? A lot less things.
No. I'm like a person who gets annoyed very easily.
Yes.
And I try not to, but
That's
like
true.
I do. I get so annoyed.
Yeah.
It's like little things.
Yeah. For me, what gets me annoyed is having to repeat myself.
Yeah. I have
That's
so
like a pet
many
peeve of
things.
mine. And I think it's because I believe that I'm a pretty clear communicator. And so immediately when someone asks me to repeat myself, I assume you weren't listening. Because heaven forbid if I just didn't communicate myself clearly.
Why's your tongue yellow?
Why is my tongue yellow?
Yeah.
I was drinking coffee.
It's a yellow tongue.
Oh, yellow tongue. Another thing that annoys me, this is more about you, but this is really about anybody. When I'm trying to have a conversation with someone and they're on their phone or they're doing something else. I don't care if people are on their phone. I don't care if people are on their phone when they're like hanging out in a group of friends, but if I'm trying to engage you in a conversation, then just put it down and like give me your full attention. Mostly because and that's part of me because I know that if I'm looking at this, I can't have a conversation with you at the same time. Whereas some people can, but I cannot. So that annoys me.
I thought of like one of my biggest annoyances is when people flake out last minute.
Oh yeah, you
like
did that.
most of the time, it's mostly because I'll like plan something like, oh hey, everybody want to come over, and I'll order the pizza and I'll do everything, and then like last minute 5 people are like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't come anymore, and it's like, wait, I already did this. The pizza is on its way, I paid for it, and you're gonna like flake, or you know, things like that.
Yeah, that's huge.
I feel like I don't have many people in my life like that anymore though.
No.
Which is good.
No, yeah. And I think that shows that it annoys you to the point where you say, I don't want to surround myself with that, which makes sense.
Or I just like won't count on you. Like I
Yeah.
won't go out of my way to try to hang out or whatever.
That's good.
Okay, next.
Last but not least, what makes you laugh?
Ooh, new girl.
That's true. New girl does make me laugh.
My brother. Me and my brother.
DJ.
Like DJ will always
He's a
find,
silent killer,
like,
man.
He'll first of all, when we're in a group, he'll like whisper something hilarious, and he always jokes that I steal his jokes because then I'll say it louder because I'm laughing at it. But also, like, he finds the funniest things on the internet.
He finds the funniest things on the internet, and he has the funniest stories of things
Oh
that
my
just
gosh,
happen
the
to him.
things that happen to my brother.
As he's
and he
walking
is
down the
like
street.
a quiet like
Yes.
person. And the amount of like weird crap, like one story, it's a quick story. He was getting his hair done, like his haircut, and he was at this like barber shop, and the guy's like, you know, so what do you do? And he's talking to him, and DJ's like, cool, like what do you do? Like, is this all you do? And he's like, well, actually, like I'm trying to be a stand-up comedian. And DJ's like, cool. And he's like, do you mind if I practice my routine on you while I cut your hair? So the guy did his stand-up routine.
Ask me a question like that ever.
The guy did his stand-up routine while DJ's getting his haircut, and DJ had to like fake laugh
And
at
it wasn't good, apparently.
Like stuff like that happens to him all the time.
Oh man.
Yeah, he makes me laugh.
Also, I know something that makes you laugh.
What?
kid fails.
Oh gosh.
Those kid fail videos. She laughs so hard.
And you laugh at the news bloopers.
I do laugh at the news bloopers sometimes.
Well, you always want to watch them.
Because they're fun. Because
Okay.
every now and then you find a gem in there. The kid
We
fails
also,
don't make me
like,
laugh.
when Vine was a thing, we would spend hours laughing at Vines.
Yeah. Another thing that makes me
R.I.P.
laugh, and like, forgive me, I'm saved by grace, is very out of character or random, or all of a sudden someone will just say something really inappropriate. Like someone who never swears or this or that, they'll just like, and not like they'll say it as a joke.
Yeah,
not
like, never
you stub your
serious.
toe and you're like, oh, you know. But they just like all of a sudden make like a super dirty joke, which I know is bad. Like judge me, that's fine. But I just can't help but laugh, especially when it's out of
It's just
character
surprise.
for
Like
someone.
you laugh at surprising
Yes,
things.
if someone does something very out of character, like if someone is very, very quiet and introverted, and then all of a sudden they're like singing and dancing, I just love it.
You're like, what?
It's so funny. It's just surprising to me. So maybe it's not just dirty things.
No, it's like
it's things that are out of
that
character,
surprise you.
which I guess shows that maybe I just spend a lot of time with a lot of people who are pursuing righteousness, and
Okay.
when they're out of
All
character.
right. Thanks for
Oh, man.
watching.
Yeah, well, literally, that is the end of the show, though. That's all the feels. That's it. Those are all the feels
Those
you
are all
can
the
feel.
feels.
Yes, thank you all for watching. A couple things before we go. I have to mention the podcast.
Yay!
The Jon Cast is launched. It is started. Episodes 1 and 2 are up, and I'm about to upload episode 3. By the time this is up, episode 3 will be up as well. So go to iTunes if you have it. If not, you can check it out on SoundCloud. But on iTunes especially, go subscribe to the Jon Cast. It's just weekly sermons. These are full-length talks so that you can listen to them on the go. You don't have to sit there and watch 30 minutes of a YouTube video. You can listen while you're driving or running or whatever you're doing at the grocery store, whatever. So go subscribe, and please, I have been begging everyone, and you all have been amazing with it, leave a review. Whether it's 1 star or 5 stars, leave a review.
Or you can be
Please.
like John and leave it.
I left a review on my own podcast. Yes, I did. It was more an example than anything else, but Sweet Bear thinks it's so weird.
I think you should
It
delete
literally says like,
It's like I like John.
yeah. So
This podcast is great. I like John.
John
From
is cool.
John Jorgenson.
Yeah.
It literally says John Jorgenson
I'm not
says.
ashamed. I'm not ashamed. So
I'm ashamed
go and
for
listen
you.
to the Jon Cast. Leave a review. It would really mean so much to me. So much. Also, don't forget, for those of you in the Chicagoland area, the Chicago show is coming up. It's like a month and a half away. Less than that. It's like a month and 10 days away. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you need to
Go!
do that. Go and do that now.
Get him.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I am at Jon Jorgensen.
I'm at Air Jorgen.
He's at Buckets Jorg. And that
He's
is all we
sweeping.
have for you.
He didn't even come.
He didn't
into
even come.
the
He's
show
sleeping.
today. Bye.
He's out, man.
He's very tired.
He's very tired. The last thing we have to do today, though, Sweet Bear. Sweet Bear.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to come.
You're not gonna come.
Come on, Dada.
The last thing we have to do today is the Fam Jam.
Okay.
Today's Fam Jam goes out to Maddie Claire. Maddie Claire
Did she pick the
requested
song?
this song.
Ooh.
So Maddie, shout out to you. We love you. Thank you for choosing this song. Are you ready, Sweet Bear?
I'm ready.
I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride.